basics.
So when people come to see you, do you find that for the most part these are people that are A, scared, or B, really interested in improving on what's already seemingly pretty good?
Both.
It is both.
It's a little bit of everything.
But usually, you know, because it's a referral-based practice, it's people, for the most part, that are motivated to do something.
Right.
Yeah.
And they know what they're getting into somewhat.
Well, and you know, people are, I think, at this point, you know, in the world of medicine, are so tired of not getting the right results and the right answers that they have to be more self-motivated. You know, it's important. It's a time to take charge and get involved in your healing process.
And in today's day and age, people want a different way to do things. They don't want to take a pill. They're tired of it.
Well, they know one pill leads to a next and the next.
They do.
And the next.
And the third leading cause of death in the United States is iatrogenesis, is going to see your medical doctor and taking a pill or having surgery. I think 140,000 people died last year from medications that were prescribed correctly and taken correctly. And doctors are good people. They're lovely. They're wonderful. And that's not their intent.
140 million people
140,000.
Yeah.
That was the Journal of American Medical Association last year. And so it's really, it's outrageous. It's an amazing concept. And so
that's scary.
It's frightening. It's frightening.
Yeah.
It's frightening. And so in understanding that, you know, what do we treat? You know, today, I mean, today, people with diabetes, cancer,
on the rise, so
migraines.
much.
But I'm just saying, what are the different ailments that we treat? We just treat people from the entire gamut, you know, and the essence is to have people come in and like, we're feeling great, we just want to prevent things. I have no symptoms, you know, check me out, because it doesn't matter who comes in. Dalai Lama could come in and I could assess him. I'm going to find something on him.
Sure.
Because the body's always communicating, and we can find through kinesiology, within 1 to 2% of breakdown, we can find dysfunction.
That's great.
And so it's a beautiful, beautiful way.
It is. So non-invasive.
Exactly.
And so accurate.
Yeah.
Don't you love what you do?
Oh.
Never hard getting up in the morning.
Isn't it? You never go to work. What is TBM?
I don't defer that to Darren.
Okay, Darren.
Well, TBM stands for Total Body Modification, and it's a form of kinesiology, of the use of muscle testing to assess a person in a completely holistic way. And we've already talked about it, but it allows us to assess people for allergies. Okay, so if people have food allergies or environmental allergies or contact allergies or to anything it may be, we can assess them through TBM types of techniques, find out what's going on, and clear it, and clear allergies in 5 minutes.
Really? That's fabulous.
We can assess sugar metabolism problems in people.
So my chronic sinusitis, I could come on in and have you like check this out for me.
Yeah,
I think it's my dog's saliva.
But the first thing I would tell you is don't say my chronic sinusitis. Don't own it. Don't say my.
All right, well, yours.
Right.
Yeah, I've had sinus problems all my life.
Yeah.
Since I was a little kid, I was like all the time. My sister thought there was a monster in the bedroom.
So you got a backward thinking.
Drainage.
What could possibly cause that?
Cool. Sugar?
Sugar.
Sugar.
Dehydration. Those are your first two. Start there.
Yeah.
Start with what you're putting in the engine to make the engine run.
I'm not dehydrated. Well, it may have been then, but I'm
Might
not.
have been then,
Yeah, so it's just interesting. I mean, I've been reading a lot about it, too, and I know it's gut, small intestine.
Sure.
So, what you called.
Right. But that doesn't happen until the person's dehydrated and until their sugar metabolism's off. And then once it happens, the light switch goes off.
Right.
And then that part of the brain that controls that doesn't even
quit.
It doesn't even know.
Yeah.
You know, some people think, well, I don't drink water because I'm not thirsty. Well, the first sign of dehydration has nothing to do with thirst. It's fatigue.
Right.
And once you stop yourself from taking in your water properly, the body stops giving you that message. You know, it stops giving that message, and then.
Well, that's a really interesting point, and I think that's what a lot of people don't understand, is that when the body isn't getting what it needs, it will turn the signal off because it can't expend the energy expressing to you what it needs if it doesn't get the energy from you, whether it's water or food. You know, people starving, they don't feel hungry.
Until one day you've ignored it so long that your body goes kaboom. And then you've got this autoimmune disease, or then you have cancer, or then you have some major degenerative disease process working in your system, but it's been functionally dysfunctional for so long.
And waving white flags for years
the whole
and years
time,
and
and you
years.
just weren't listening.
Right.
Because it's all about balance. Hey, the holidays, birthdays, anniversaries, vacations.
It's always something.
But life should be celebrated.
Yeah.
Life should be. Life is fun.
Right, but you
know?
got to temper the.
Well, you can't expect someone to be
extremes.
passionate in one area and not in another. You know, so we gave people pretty much, you know, we told people, hey, it's the holidays, go out and enjoy yourself. I would never tell someone for a birthday or for Christmas or whatever the
Don't
holiday
have
might
your
be,
cookie
don't do that. No, enjoy it. But when that holiday party becomes, you know, the next morning getting up and having pancakes and maple syrup, and then this perpetual cycle of poor dietary decisions, poor lifestyle changes, and things like that, then now it's a habit. Now it's not a special occasion thing.
Right.
So
you need to know how to get back to the basics.
Right.
You know?
So what do you do with the thermal imagery?
The thermal imaging, or the computer-regulated thermography,
Like if I had my boyfriend come in to see you, what would you do for him?
well, essentially the initial workup, we would use just a baseline kinesiological workup.
Okay.
So it would be an energetic assessment of all his organ systems.
Okay.
And it would address it from a physical, chemical, and emotional standpoint. Each one would be touched on very basically, just kind of turning the circuits on, so to speak. After that, we would do an assessment that would include the thermography. And the thermography would give us an objective printout of all his organ systems, functional versus dysfunctional, and then once they were dysfunctional, where were they on the spectrum of dysfunction? How dysfunctional were they? And like I said, you wouldn't use the same types of treatments or treatment modalities if there was inflammation as you would if there was toxicity.
May I interject a
Sure.
question? Let's say I send a friend of mine to you. Okay, forget the boyfriend.
Okay.
But a friend of mine who has really progressive diabetes. He's got neuropathy going on. Worst candidate for dietary intervention you've ever met. I mean, I actually told him next time he comes in, since I always do it as gratis, I'm going to charge him double because he obviously perceives no value in the information I've given him
Exactly.
from a dietary vantage point. So maybe we're too close and he needs to see certainly someone like you. And some men just do better with doctor behind your name. They listen better if you're a physician. So that might be a really big help. But this man has the neuropathy going on to where the numbness is starting to creep up to his knees.
Yeah, but this is his issue. I mean, he has created this.
Right, exactly.
I mean, this is one
But what
example
would you do with
that is.
someone like that?
Well, you got
How
to
do
make
you
the change.
create
you know?
the hierarchy of what to do for second or third?
Well, first they have to make the decision that they want to do something for themselves.
Right. And we're assuming that they do that when they come in. Because if they're there and they're spending the time and the resources to be there, we're assuming that right away.
Now, this person's on 6 medications, I just found out last week.
That's
I'm
fine.
like, oh, Madonna me. So, I mean, you know, I think
He probably needs to be on
two
medications
or
if he's
three
not
high
doing
blood
anything else.
pressures and cholesterol and a gout medication and a diabetic 1 or 2 for diabetes.
Livers
Oh, he's
and
a
rest.
he's a walk-in drugstore. Toxic cesspool. So, would you start weaning him off his medications? Because I'm sure what I'm describing
No.
to you is really evident in many people out there listening to us.
First of all, it's not within our licensure to take people off medications, and so we wouldn't do that. But one of
Okay.
the things that we have as a tool is we're able to harmonize people to their medications, so we can limit, if not completely negate, the negative side effects of the medications.
That's wonderful.
It's amazing. That's a really fantastic aspect of what we do, because we don't want to be dealing with symptoms that are created by the medication and just chasing our tail even worse.
Sure.
Yeah, so that's one aspect. And then getting somebody hydrated, 1 quart for 50 pounds of body weight. So I weigh 180, and so every day I drink 4 quarts. I drink a gallon every day. And
That's great.
you know, within that's a basis where
How
to
do you
start.
come up with that formula?
1 quart for 50 pounds? Where did that come from?
Because I've been on the internet searching for like validity on numbers for water.
The
I
body's
can't
many cries for
find-
water.
Oh, Dr.
He has
Buttman
it in
Jeej.
there?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. As
Yeah.
a book.
Okay.
All right.
yeah.
All right, so you would do that. You'd hydrate him.
Hydrate them.
And then
You know,
talk
becau-
diet.
Yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
diet is huge. I mean, he's created this. The refined
Because
carbohydrates.
diabetes is climbing so fast in this country.
It's amazing.
It's astonishing. I mean, we're looking at women who used to be secondary to men, but now women are catching up with men as far as diabetes, 30s and 40s.
He would have to have a complete elimination of sugar from his diet. And our definition of sugar is a
There you
little
go.
bit broader than the
Refined
table
sugar.
sugar, or candies and things like that. Obviously, those things are out of the question. But potatoes, pasta, white breads, even whole wheat breads, things like that, completely eliminated. And then working with the liver, the pancreas, the adrenal glands.
Could he recover those, in your estimation?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Fabulous.
And the essence is that through TBM...
Even though he's 66 years old?
66 years young.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Just had to throw that in there.
Through the essence of the total body modification, the TBM, we're able to assess radionically different viruses, such as a Coxsackie B virus, chlamydia pneumonia, which have been implicated with juvenile as well as adult onset diabetes. And
So, okay, so the first, we only have 3 more minutes.
we went
So
quick.
the first thing we would do is we would suggest that people come in and they run through each of your curriculums or each of your modalities.
That's how we do it. I mean, that's how,
scan and-
well, yeah, people come in and we put them through the whole process of it. And we each,
Do they get a printout then?
yes, they get a printout of the
So they can review
objective.
it?
Right, exactly.
Okay,
of the
and you don't,
objective
I mean,
test.
you sent me out with one little homeopathic preparation. I didn't walk out with like 90 bottles of vitamins,
Try not to
which
do
was
that.
very cool.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
It was doable, very
if
doable.
if you've got to take 90 pills a day, first of all, I wouldn't do it, so I wouldn't ask
Right.
any of my patients.
Not
to do
really
that.
living well, is it?
Right.
So, okay, so they would do that, and then they would run through each of you, and then come back in 2 or 3 months, or would they come back in another month,
Depending on the
depending
person, we set up
Depends.
their own individualized treatment plan.
Okay.
So it
All right.
depends.
All right.
It depends. Some people come in a couple times a week in the beginning to get them back on track.
Do you do adjustments as well then?
Well, we're
if need be?
chiropractors, yeah.
Yeah.
So we assess the body head to toe,
Cool.
look at it structurally, chemically, and emotionally.
So this is healing from A to Z,
Yeah.
basically.
good
And
way
you
of
set up
saying it.
you set up a plan, and you show people here's your protocol. This is how you participate. This is how we change what's going on.
Right.
So you're like a complete educational package.
Healing,
basically.
healing from A to Z in multiple different languages.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. We're running out of time.
Okay.
So I just want to thank you guys for being here.
Thanks
This
for
has
having
been
Thanks for having
excellent.
us. This is great.
If I can make a recommendation to you, I would personally recommend that you do thermal digital imagery along with the applied kinesiology, and to do the homeopathy is wonderful because they're all really non-invasive. They're wonderful modalities for assessing your wellness or lack thereof and setting protocols and positions so you can start to heal your body without doing anything invasive and without waiting for trouble. So, anything else you can add for us?
I think you
Drink
covered it.
water.
Yeah.
What about tap, real quick?
Tap water?
Yeah.
No, stay away from
Stay
it.
away from
Yeah.
that.
Especially
Why?
down here, yeah. Well, I mean, spring water's better for you.
Okay.
Drink
So
fresh
stick
water.
to spring. Try not to do
Yeah.
tap.
Exactly.
Distilled.
In certain cases, it's necessary, but
If you're an iron
for
or a
purposes
fountain.
of your listening audience, spring water, stick to it.
Okay. Well, distilled, from what I understand, pulls more minerals out of
Right,
the body,
exactly.
right? So we shouldn't do that.
Right.
So hydrate, and we should do how many cups a day? How
1
many?
quart for every 50 pounds.
1 quart for every 50 pounds. So a
And then
quart
up
is
the
4
quart.
cups.
No.
No,
Well,
right.
4 8-ounce glasses,
Yeah,
correct.
it's 4 8-ounce glasses.
Right.
Sure.
So I weigh 150, so I should be doing at least 3 quarts a day.
Correct.
Exactly.
But if you weighed
Ginger.
155, you should do the 4. Just
Okay.
up it.
Just up it even more. And if you don't drink water, start slowly, otherwise you'll be in the bathroom all the time. So
Your
work
body
your way
gets
into
used
it.
to it.
And then what about dietary changes? Fruits and veggies?
Proteins,
fruits, and veggies.
vegetables.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Okay.
gentlemen. Dr. Weissman, it was wonderful having
Thanks
you
so
on the
much,
show.
Barbara.
We'd love to have you back.
Thank you.
And
Thanks for
also
having us.
Dr. Vane, thank you. If you need more answers to your questions regarding thermal digital imagery, doing applied kinesiology, about the center up in Northbrook that these two kind gentlemen offer for your services, please give me a call. I'll be happy to refer you out and give you their webpage. You can take a look. Until next week, take good care of your health. God bless and keep you safe. Bye.